Welcome back to Wave with Docker. Today we're doing a little chill video. It's been like 1 week since the Orioles lost. Actually, a little bit over 1 week. Yeah, game 2 was Sunday. Game 3 was Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. It's been 1 week since the Orioles fell to the Texas Rangers in the ALDS in 3 games. We got swept, and it sucked. And I was there on Sunday, and it sucked. But whatever. It's been 1 week, so I just want to do a little bit of a recap. This team won 101 games, which is just insane. The most wins since 1980. We won the AL East, first time since 2014. It was just a special season. It was probably my favorite season as an Orioles fan. I think the first season I remember, like, being conscious, because, like, born in 2004, I'm 19 now. So 2012, I was 8. I remember that season. I remember 2013, I remember Chris Davis hitting all those home runs. I remember 2014, obviously. And then beyond that, more and more involved. This is probably the season where I was probably, like, 2022. Like, I think 2021 was, like, the first season where I was like, all right, I'm going to try to watch every game. And then 2022 was more. And then 2023, I think I was locked into every game. Like, I was here. I was amped. I was excited. I was involved in this season. I went to like 10 or 11 games, which is the most I've done in a season. Went to the home opener with my buddies. Went to game 2 of a playoff game with my dad. Like, it was awesome. It was a very involved season. And I think I haven't really seen a lot of people say this, and I'm glad. But, there are people that, are probably saying this, that the season was a failure because we didn't, win a playoff game. We didn't advance to the ALCS or the World Series. But, like, obviously, and I've attributed myself as being I'm a pessimistic person outside of sports. When it comes to sports, like, it's like, it sounds corny, but it's like, it feels like my escape from, like, the dreariness. That sounds so corny, but, like, I can't afford to be negative or pessimistic when I'm watching sports, because it's like, there's other stuff that I can be negative about, and, like, when I'm watching sports, I want to be, like, with my team. Like, the Eagles were bad for a while, and then won the Super Bowl, and I was like, yes. And, like, I think the Eagles are probably the team that I'm the most pessimistic about, because there's only so many games. Like, when we lost to the Jets on Sunday, dude, I was just like, I was checked out. Like, that loss was just ridiculous. But, like, I can't afford to be pessimistic about sports teams because, like I said, like, I need to be negative about other things. But, like, we won 83 games last year after losing 100 games back-to-back, like, in, like, 3 or 4 of the last, like, 6 seasons. Like, we were a bad team. 183 last year, looked bright. Adley was up, Gunnar was up. It was exciting. We were, like, almost in the wild card race. But then this year, like, Adley 5 for 5 on opening day in Boston. He has that home run. Go to the home opener. Creme dog shove. Great game, a lot of fun. Like, it was just like wire to wire, this team was just fun. And it was just exciting. And, like, an 18-game win increase is positive, I think, no matter how you look at it. And, like, I mean, I want the Orioles to win the World Series every year, but, like, when I came into the playoffs, when I came into this year, I was like, this team isn't built to go far in the postseason. Like, unless we were to acquire some really good arms at the deadline, like other teams did, like Texas did with Jordan Montgomery, I didn't really feel like there was a chance that we were going to win 11 or 13 postseason games. Like, I didn't really see it as a possibility. But it does suck to lose in the postseason, but, this season wasn't a failure. Winning 101 games and winning the AL East after getting 4th in the AL East and 100 and like back-to-back 100 lost seasons, like, that's a success. And I think it's even more of a success because one of the biggest concerns from, like, the media and, like, fans of the Orioles was that this team is too young and they're gonna get rattled in the postseason. I think that's fair. I think you saw that. I think you saw our leaders like Adley and Cedric have a not so good postseason. I mean, Gunnar shines, obviously, but Gunnar's Gunnar. Like, he's gonna be, like, he's not your average rookie, but, like, you saw, like, our young guys kind of floundered in the big moments. Actually, I think DL Hall. It's just, I'm rambling. This is gonna be a one-take video, but, like, you saw on this team, like, they had a hard time in the postseason. Like, Grayson, oh my God, like, he looked rough after having a really phenomenal stretch after coming back up from Norfolk. Like, his last 5 or 6 starts before Game 2 on Saturday or on Sunday were really great, but then in the postseason, he just fell apart. And there's the whole argument right now about how the postseason is formatted. Obviously, I'm a little biased because my 101 win Orioles, 1 seed, got knocked in the first round and got swept. So I have a bit of a bias towards how it's formatted. But I see both sides. But my take is that I think the wild card series should be 1 game. You can't call it a wild card series if it's multiple games because it's wild. It's like the play-in game in the NBA. You get 1 chance to make it in. And NFL, it's 1 game. But I mean, NFL, it's all 1 game. But wild card, it's not wild card if it's a series. It's called the wild card because your ace could go out there and have a stinker on the mound and get taken out in the second inning as, the team that just snuck into the playoffs gets hot and then boom, you're out. But it was different this year because all the wild card games were sweeps. But you can't call it the wild card if it's a series. I think it needs to be 1 game. I think it needs to be game 162, off day, wild card, off day, ALDS. I just think that makes the most sense for the title of wild card series. It doesn't need to be 3 games, 1 game. And obviously, the Astros are an outlier over the last 2 years with the format of the postseason, but you see the Dodgers and the Braves and the Orioles, teams with the 3 best records in the MLB, all get taken out in the ALDS, and they only won a combined, the top 4 teams in the MLB won 1 game in the postseason. You see the correlation. The Rays obviously didn't get the days off that the Braves, Orioles, and Dodgers did, but the days off had an effect because 6 days off is abnormal in the MLB. That's longer than the All-Star game. So I think All-Star break. So I think consider going back to 1 game wild card because it's in the name. It's not a wild card if it's a series, but whatever. That's my postseason rant. But this season was a success. When you take into account the fact that we made the postseason, won the AL East, 101 games, Rookie of the Year, probably Manager of the Year, and then these young guys get the postseason experience. So when they come back next year, hopefully with a loaded rotation, because there's a lot of arms that are up for free agency this all season. So I'm hoping that Mike Elias does his freaking job and that John Angelos gives him some money to work with. If we actually get a top end arm, so it's not just Kyle Bradish and then to me it feels like Kyle Bradish and then Grayson and then Dean. I love Dean Kramer, but you can see Dean Kramer is an eye test guy. He doesn't really have all the analytics to back him up. He'll go out there and he'll be big game Kram. Obviously, he floundered in game 3, but it's first postseason game, like I said earlier. They didn't have the experience, but Dean's great, but we need the bolster. Honestly, I love Dean, but with the arms we have coming up and with the potential of us getting some arms in free agency and strengthening our rotation, he may end up being a long relief bullpen guy. Or they may part ways with him. And I hate that that's reality because I adore Dean Kramer. But, that's just how baseball works. And I think in order for this team to win 11, 13 games in the postseason, they need to make the right additions to the team. So, I don't know. We'll see. But, this season was just awesome. So much fun. The Cedric catch and homer in Seattle. The Adley walk-off against Oakland. The Santander walk-off against New York. It was just a fun year. I'll be sad to see Frazier and Gibby go because most likely they will be. We will not see them return. We'll probably get I hope we don't sign a 1-year infielder. I think we should just have Jackson Holliday come up opening day and be on our infield with Gunnar and Westy. We'll see. I'm not the GM. Gibby was great. He did his job. He was just Jordan Lyles 2.0. Eats innings, stays in games, and he had second or third most wins in the American League, so that was pretty good. But yeah, I hope this team comes back hungry next year. I hope it's not like a Blue Jays thing where Vladdy said this year was just the trailer, next year you get the movie. I don't want any, these Orioles are smart. I hope they don't say anything that'll bury them. And I think the fan base has kind of taken it with grace. At least I have. I haven't really been hurling out accusations, but I've seen on Twitter there have been some numbskulls, spewing nonsense. But I think the team has taken it with grace. I think we do have some really good leaders on this team: Adley, Cedric, Gunnar, Santander, especially. Like I think those guys feel like our core, and we may see Cedric go eventually, just because we have sort of a what's the word? Oh, I can't think of it, but like a logjam. We kind of have a logjam in the outfield. And I've seen talk of maybe trading Cedric, but I don't want to do that. But I think we have good leaders. I'm hoping a Gunnar extension is soon. I'm hoping an Adley extension is soon. I don't want these guys to be wearing another jersey. I think that's the day I stop watching the Orioles if I see Adley Rutschman behind home plate for another team that isn't Baltimore. So I hope those extensions come soon. I think next year's gonna be really exciting. Obviously, it's a long season. Like it feels weird not watching the Orioles every game after being watching every game this season. Like I don't want to wait until March 30th for us to play the Yankees. I think we're playing the Yankees in Camden Yards first game. Like I don't want to wait that long. Like I hope that the hot stove is hot for the Orioles. Like I hope the Orioles make some moves in the off season, because this team needs to be bolstered. Like you saw, like Texas, they built their team for the postseason. Obviously, we won't have to spend $500 million to get a Corey Seager, Marcus Semien type, like huge contract guys on this team. But we need something that we can, edge off. Wait, pause. That sounded awful. But like we don't need to have guys like Gibby or Irvin or Flaherty in a rotation. Like I want to have a good 1 through 4, 1 through 5 rotation where I feel good about every guy on the bump. And I think the lineups next year could be really fun. Ideally, what I'm looking at. I want to keep Ryan O'Hearn. I know it'll probably be hard for him to replicate what he did this year, but I think Ryan O'Hearn is just a great clubhouse guy, and he's a good platoon bat. But all right, back to what I think the ideal opening day roster is going to be, or lineup is like Adley, catcher, Mountie first base, Westberg at second, Jackson Holiday at short, Gunnar at third, and then let's do Tony in right, Austin Hayes in left, Cedric in center. That's probably safe bet. And then DH, maybe Ryan O'Hearn. Maybe we sign a bat. I've seen talk of maybe signing JD Martinez. I think that'd be cool. We need someone who can power it over Mount Baltimore, but we'll see. I'm not sure how many more Orioles themed videos we're gonna do. Or no, we're gonna do a bunch, but I'm not sure the timeline. And unless some big news happens, maybe I'll just do a post, some news happened about the Orioles, so I'll make a video about it. But we'll see. Long off season. I think maybe some hot stove off season talk videos would be fun. But this is just my Orioles recap. It's a long ramble. I probably missed a few things, but this is how I just wanted to do a video wrapping up. And I haven't posted since Thursday, so I just wanted to do something about the Orioles. But hope you guys enjoyed. This is an awesome season. I was very happy as an Orioles fan this year, regardless of the postseason loss. And I think next year's going to be even more fun. I want to go to more games. And if I want to get some opening day tickets, that was so much fun at the home opener last year. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Go O's. I want the Phillies to win. I'm an Eagles fan. I'm an Eagles fan. So I think just by proxy, I'm a Phillies fan at this point. So yeah, if not the Phillies, then I guess Texas. Because if I want to lose in a DS, I want to lose to the team that wins the World Series. So Texas or Philly. Ideally Philly. The Phillies look insane right now. They're a team that I'm starting to rant all over again. But the Phillies built for the postseason. Their roster, they may have their struggles in the regular season. They won 86, 87 games. But they have dogs. Castellanos, Bryce Harper, Bryson Stott, Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola. Those guys have the Trey Turner. He's a World Series champion. These guys have they're vets, and they have grit. They have dudes on their team. And we have dudes on our team, but we have less experienced dudes. So we got to get a dude in here that's a more experienced dude, because we didn't have that this year. Aaron Hicks, Adam Frazier, Kyle Gibson, Jack Flaherty, those guys all have postseason experience, but they're not dudes. We need a dude. And I hope we find that dude in the off season, or a dude emerges from this roster. Gunnar Henderson feels like a dude. He looked like a dude. So we need more dudes. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys on Thursday for my Waves Faves Week 7. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.